know you're proud.
All right. Welcome to the groundbreaking for the Public Safety Campus for the City of Sioux Falls. My name is Holly Brunick, and I'm the Business and Facilities Administrator at Gloria Day Lutheran. But I'm here today as a representative of the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. I'm a board member with them, the leading organization dedicated to improving the economy of Sioux Falls. I'm so excited to represent the Development Foundation today and host today's groundbreaking for everyone. As an economic development organization, we are tasked with creating quality economic growth in Sioux Falls in order to improve the quality of life for our residents. Sioux Falls has grown tremendously, as we all know, over the past few years, which has been the vision of both of our organizations for a long time. With this growth comes more people to protect and to serve in our community. Our law enforcement and emergency responders work tirelessly each day, and we are excited to be part of this groundbreaking for this new campus here in Sioux Falls that will provide the space and training facilities for them to do their work and do it well long into the future. The Public Safety Campus will be a 42-acre campus with about 100,000 square feet of training facilities for our police and fire training, public safety answering point, emergency operation center, and each department's administration. On behalf of all of us at the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, thank you to Mayor TenHaken for his vision for the future of public safety in our city, and to previous in our current leadership in our city's police and fire departments, to our city council for approving the bonds to fund this project, and to the county leadership for their support, and to all our law enforcement, first responders, firefighters, and others who work each and every day to keep this city safe. With that, our first speaker today will be Dean Karski on the Minnehaha County Commission. Dean?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Holly. Over 37 years ago, my wife told me that if it rains on your wedding day, you'll be showered with blessings. So we can only hope that the same applies to a groundbreaking here today. You know, it's fitting that we're here on today of all days because it's support for law enforcement, and they're going to be a huge user of this facility. So I think it's great that we can be here on a day that we show law enforcement our gratitude for what they do. You know, the county's proud to take a small part in this, and that, you know, we're able to get involved with the city, and we appreciate the vision of the mayor and the staff, all the chiefs, and the years of hard work and planning that has really gone into this project. So, you know, I'm fortunate that I'm here to represent the county commissioners and the county, but just want to thank the mayor and the staff for what they're bringing for the community, because it's going to be here for generations. It's going to be here long beyond what many of us are here for. So it's a vision, and it's fitting for what we need, and just progress is a great thing. So thank everybody for their commitment and involvement in this project. So.
Thank you, Dean. Our next speaker is Councilor Rick Kiley from the Sioux Falls City Council.
Thank you very much. While it might be a dreary day out here, it is sure a bright day for public safety. It's really an honor to be here. Public safety is our number one priority. This facility is a sound investment for our community. It is a sound investment as it will improve upon the already strong police, fire, and Metro 911 dispatch system that we enjoy. Other communities across the nation, in response to very unfortunate and preventable events, responded by defunding public safety, police in particular. We here in Sioux Falls have taken a different approach. We have elected to invest in public safety. I and the other members of the City Council are proud to support this project as we recognize its importance. Training and education is the path, the means to an efficient and effective safety response. This facility will provide training and education in an effort to continue to provide the top-notch services our citizens have received and expect to continue to receive well into the future. Like all large projects, there are many people to thank and to recognize. I'd like to thank all police, fire, and 911 dispatchers for their service. If you're here, please raise your hand. We'd like to recognize you. This includes City Council Chair Kurt Sale. Kurt served a 20-year career with Sioux Falls Fire and Rescue. I thank Kurt for his service and for his steadfast support of this project. Let's please recognize Kurt. He's hiding under the tent back here. I'd like to thank former Police Chief Matt Burns and former Fire Chief Brad Goodroad for getting this project off to a great start. Your efforts are much appreciated. I'd like to thank current Police Chief John Toom and Fire Chief Matt McAravey for continuing the effort and getting us to this point. I'd also like to thank Commissioner Karski, Mayor TenHaken, and the past and present members of Metro Management Council for their support. As a 7.5-year member of Metro Management, I would like to spend a portion of my time recognizing how this facility will benefit our 911 dispatchers. For years, Metro dispatchers have toiled in less than desirable conditions. No windows, poor ventilation, few bathrooms, ADA challenges, a closet for a break room, a barely adequate training room, and a backup center that would have a difficult time keeping up if we lost our primary system. Despite these conditions, our Metro dispatchers have responded to not only the normal emergencies one would expect during a regular shift, but they have responded to an influx of calls from floods, tornadoes, a pandemic, and even a riot. Not only did they respond, they did so in a professional, efficient, and effective manner. The inclusion of Metro in this new facility will resolve all of the issues I just mentioned, including the backup center issue, as the current Metro facility downtown will serve as the backup once this new facility is operational. The Metro 911 portion of this project will become a welcome change for our dispatchers. I firmly believe it will not only assist them as they perform their duties, but it will help retain our valuable staff and attract others to these much needed positions. In this highly competitive employment market, this facility will go a long way, helping to ensure our 911 services are fully staffed. Now, I'd like to thank Metro Director Scott McMahon. Scott, please raise your hand over here. Scott came on as director of Metro about 2.5 years ago. He hit the road running. He brought a wealth of knowledge and experience to the position and helped Metro improve upon its already good track record. Not only did Scott help to improve Metro operations, but he played a major role in ensuring Metro moved out of their current location to this future training facility. I strongly believe without Scott's expert assistance, Metro would still be looking for its next location. I'll say again, it's likely the Metro portion of this facility would not be planned for this location if it were not for the work and efforts of Scott McMahon and members of his staff. Once again, let's recognize Scott and his staff. In closing, there's no doubt this future training facility will benefit the members of Sioux Falls PD, Sioux Falls Fire and Rescue, and Metro 911, but ultimately, it will be the community. It will be our community that benefits the most as this state-of-the-art facility will further enhance our already outstanding public safety services. This is a great day, and I'm happy to have played a small role in helping to ensure this facility move from vision to reality. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this process. Thank you for the opportunity to represent the great men and women of Sioux Falls Public Safety.
Thank you, Rick. And our next speaker is Matt McElravy from the Fire Department.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. This turnout today and everyone being here is a representative example of the support that our public safety professionals experience in our community. It's because of the support of the community that we're here today with this groundbreaking, and it's the reason that this facility is coming to fruition. So thank you, everyone, for coming out and standing in the rain today. I appreciate it. And I echo your sentiments about raining on your wedding day. So to good fortunes to everyone. So I'd like to especially thank the elected officials, the Minnehaha County Commission. Thank you for your support. Sioux Falls City Council and Mayor Paul TenHaken. It's with you and your staff and Chief of Staff Erica Beck. Thank you. It's your undying and unwavering commitment to public safety is how we're able to be here today. So our teams truly do thank you for all of your work that you've done. I'd like to thank the design team. So we've been working for a long time with a lot of these partners, WSKF Architecture, Abercrombie Design, Stockwell Engineering, Midwest Engineering, PKMR, just to name a few. I'm sure I left some off, but they truly took what was a vision and put it down on paper, and now we're going to get to experience that. So it's an incredible time to experience that. I'm excited today that we get to start our relationship with Pesca Construction. They're a quality local contractor. We're excited that they're here, and they're going to take what we now have on paper as a plan, and we're going to get to put that in the ground and start that today. So I'm very excited about that relationship with Pesca. I want to thank the entire city team. I see a lot of them out here today. Public Works, City Attorney, Finance, HR, like virtually everyone in the city of Sioux Falls had some portion of this. And that's just going to continue to grow as we have a relationship out here with water reclamation going, light and power growing. Like we're just really excited to be out here in this part of town providing this service. I very much want to say thank you to all the dedicated men and women of Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. Close to 6 years ago, we embarked on a process to look at a master plan of what are the hazards that are in our community that we need to plan for. And they put the time and effort to look at what the hazards are. That was then taken by our design team to put on paper. Now we're going to get to experience that. So very excited. Thank you very much for the team. A lot of patience there, but it will pay off. Here in 2 years, we're going to be very excited to see the product that we have. I'd like to thank a few retirees, retired Battalion Chief Travis Tom. I had the honor of working alongside Travis. He had a lot of input on the facilities within Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. Particular, he had a vision and a dream of what this training facility needed to be, and I'm confident in saying that without that drive, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you, Travis. Retired Division Chief Jeff Helm took on the project of project management for us up until his retirement. He was critical in getting us to the point that we are, and we certainly respect his and thank him for his service. And then certainly Fire Chief Brad Goodroad. So you took that vision, you brought the partners together, you got us here today. So without that, like I equated, I was able to pick the ball up at the 1 yard line and help us take it across. So thank you very much for your vision and driving that. All right, I won't be terribly long-winded here, but I'd like to share a little bit of history. So we have the visitor registration. This is the registration book from the VL Cruisenberry. So Sioux Falls Fire Rescue and the city of Sioux Falls took possession of that building on August 17th in 1979. And since then, 42 years worth of firefighters have had the opportunity to train at that facility. It was through the vision and the drive of retired Fire Chief VL Cruisenberry, retired fire chief and former mayor of the city of Sioux Falls. It was his drive that really elevated our department that was able to get us to where we are today as an accredited and an ISO1 organization. So we very much thank his family for his drive and dedication for the city of Sioux Falls. And I had the honor at the beginning of this month to sit down with some of our retirees at their monthly breakfast. One of the members that was there, I sat across from, is on the front page here. So it was neat to hear their experience. He was the very first member to get to go through in uniform and perform at that academy. Equally interesting, there was a member that had joined 3 years prior, and a retired FAO that his experience showing up for that first day, he went to Central Fire Station at 8 in the morning, and by 8:30 he was at a structure fire. So that same level of change going from reporting to a station to a training center, we're now going to get to experience that. The level of intentional design that's in this facility is only going to elevate. So our people right now get to go out, and our training staff is doing a tremendous job of utilizing the facility we have. But what we're going to be able to experience behind us is truly going to elevate our performance, and it's going to drive the response that we'll be able to provide for our community. So we're driven to do the absolute best we can for our community, and we're very excited and very much appreciate the support this entire community has had for the project. So thank you for being here, and we're very excited to get some shovels in the ground.
Thank you, Matt. Next we have Police Chief John Toome.
Chief McAravey didn't tell me he was bringing a prop, so I think he kind of pulled that on me. That's typical fire stuff, not telling you this. But no, we talked about what to talk about, but McAravey and I, and McAravey did an excellent job of thanking all the parties involved. And I get a special perspective to this project because, to be honest, I had little to nothing to do with it. And I say that because I came along late in the process after Chief Burns retired. So I have a unique perspective of coming in at the end and seeing all the different pieces of the city work together and put this together really in such an impressive manner that I think it's lost on some people just how efficient our city machine is and how our partners work together to make this work. And literally, I got to be a spectator to that at the end. But what I get to focus on is the future in my position. And if I think back to when I was a kid and this facility was built, the previous facility was built in 1978, right? Matt, you're the historian.
Yeah.
Yeah, historian. So it's a year older than me. But as a kid, I remember rolling into town from West 12th Street and seeing the population sign of Sioux Falls, and it said population about 80, I think it was 80,000 based on that 1980 census. And so you think the history of that facility and how it served us and how it has really pushed our community into an upper level where our public safety, I still stand by this 100%, is second to none. We are a gold standard of how things should be done in the public safety realm. So what excites me as we look forward is to think about 40 years from now in this facility. Because as we know with any great organization, as we've seen time and time again, you're always training your replacement. And what we're doing right now is building for the future, building for our replacements to carry our city into the next era of its legacy and can maintain that outstanding public safety. Internally, again, police department just can't say enough to the community. Again, was counted on numerous times how our community has said, no, we will double down on the police department. We will double down on public safety. We will give the necessary funding to make sure we maintain that standard, and we can't say enough. And internally, again, Chief Burns, I can't say thank you enough for doing the hard work for me, and then I get to get up here and talk and take a little bit of credit for it. Not really. The credit goes to the team 100%. And again, looking towards the future, and I look out here and I can't wait to retire and think about all the people that are going to come through here and work behind us as we move forward. So again, thanks to your commitment, thanks for your support. It's humbling to be a law enforcement officer in this community and experience that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And now we're going to hear just some short comments from Mayor Paul TenHaken.
Short comments, I know. They will be. Well, really cool day. Thank you for being out here. You know, when I got into office, I remember a meeting showing up on my calendar. I need to chair the Metro Management Council meeting. And I asked Julie, my assistant, I'm like, what's this about? She's like, well, you're the chair. You like oversee Metro. I'm like, oh, didn't know that. And so I went and got a tour from then director Paul Niederinghaus, and he showed me around the place, and then he took me to the backup closet where we have our backup center. And it became really apparent really quickly that we needed to invest some dollars into 911 and to our Metro Dispatch Center. It was about that time too. Then I sat down with Chief Goodroad and Chief Burns, and they laid out a pretty clear case on how our training facilities were just outdated. And so as a mayor, you get so much bonding capital, so much political capital that you have to expend on different projects. So it's like, okay, do I want to put dollars and energy towards this, or is it a curling facility like Councilor Sale wants, or is it something else? But I could think of no better project than this. And I'm super honored to be a small part of this project. There are so many good people who have already been thanked, who have played a role in getting us to this point. It's going to be a $50 million project on this blank canvas of land. And last summer, in 2020, I remember in June, I did an interview and they asked me about police funding. And I called it political puffery. I said, defunding the police is political puffery. And at that time, that was not a popular position to take. But I meant it. And fast forward 6 months later, we put together a $50 million bond for this campus in the midst of an environment where you're not finding too many cities that were putting $50 million into a facility for their first responders and their law enforcement professionals. So we do support our first responders, our fire, our police, our dispatchers in Sioux Falls, and that will not change. And I think this community supports that as well, and I think this facility is a testament to that. So, you know, there was a lot of thank yous that already have been made. I obviously work very closely with Chief Goodroad, Chief Burns, and now Chief Toom and McAravey in this. Thank you guys for all your work and leadership on this front. Team at Metro. Metro's top shelf. I think there's two things people expect from their community. They expect good infrastructure. They want the water to turn on if they turn a knob. They want the toilet to flush if they flush it. And if they call 911, they want cops or fire to show up. And that involves 911, dispatch, that involves PD, and that involves fire. And those are just non-negotiables. People, if that stuff doesn't happen, you will hear about it and the community will revolt. And so for that reason, this is an incredible investment. There's some city team members, though, that weren't mentioned. You know, this is a big project for our engineering team. You know, Mark Cotter's team, Rod Harm, Shannon Verhey, your entire team puts a lot of work into this. So, Mark, thanks for your work there. But then the hardest job maybe of all is wrangling everyone as the project manager, and that's Erin Bovenkamp right here. Give her a round of applause. She's got a hard job. She actually, she's got to keep it on budget, and that's why we have such a small tent, because she wanted to save money for like other stuff. So she's a hard-nosed man. And then, of course, our finance team. Sean's hiding over there, but Sean Pritchett, Tom Huber, putting a city bond together is a lot of work, and jumping through all the hoops to do a bonding initiative is a lot of work. So thank you to our finance team. And then lastly, I just want to thank Jim Sokup. Is Jim here? He just left? Okay. Will you thank him for me, his brother Jay? This is his land we're on. We had acquired this land. We knew it was perfect land. And he was just very reasonable in this process. And some people, when they hear the city wants their land, they turn into Scrooge McDuck, man, and they're ready to take us for everything they got. And he was a very great partner in this. So, Jay, be sure to thank Jim. We really appreciate him as well. So on behalf of the city council, all their support, we're excited to get going. So let's turn some dirt and get this project started, shall we?
Okay, and now I would like to present Mayor TenHaken from the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, this commemorative, if I can say that, shovel that with today's date in place, and
Thank you, Holly.
good luck.
All right, thank you.
And next we will move to do the actual groundbreaking. Give us a minute or two to kind of get resituated here, and then we will turn some dirt.
Okay to move the podium?
Excuse me? Who's this is?
Captain us up there. All right. In 3. What are we doing in 3?
On 1, you can start shoveling. Okay. So everyone, in 3, 2, 1, shovel.